Welcome to another episode of the ONE THE PRST Podcast. We like to tap in with entrepreneurs, movers, and shakers, business owners, as they're on the pursuit towards with things that they're building, growing their business, expanding, things like that. On today's episode, I got my guy Marcus LaBon, and you might know him from his amazing branding and his marketing expertise. But he has an amazing story, and hopefully he's going to share a lot of it on today's episode about where he came from and exactly what got him to start business. And so, first, I just want to say welcome to the podcast, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Brendan. I'm excited to be here. I know we were supposed to knock this out way back when I was in LA in June, but here we are now.
Yeah, it's all good. We're supposed to do it in person, but as technology has us, we're able to do it, over the live. So, here we are. Here we are. And then, who knows? Next time we'll connect. We'll just do another one. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good one. You're someone that I've come to befriend, and over the couple of months, our relationship has been able to grow. I've learned a little bit more about you and a little bit more about your story, which I feel like is amazing, and a lot of people can take a lot of things from that. But man, let's get down to it. So you're an entrepreneur. You're living in Atlanta. So tell us a little bit about your story. How'd you come to start your business?
A lot of people don't know because I rarely talk about it unless it's necessary. And the only time I really find it necessary is to really motivate and inspire someone else. But I've been in Atlanta for about 3 years now. Prior to living in Atlanta, I was living in Wilmington, Delaware. What led me in Wilmington, Delaware was I did American Idol back in 2013 after forfeiting an opportunity with a full scholarship to go to Morehouse. So I never really mentioned that either, but I want people to know, like, I had the opportunity to be college educated. Dr. Bill Cosby gave me a full scholarship to Morehouse that I didn't take. Ended up going to Savannah to help my mom take care of my grandmother, which led me to hanging around not the wrong people, but I don't like to say make mistakes, but making a lot of bad decisions. My decision-making skills were shit or trash. And the people that I hung around didn't make it any better and didn't influence me otherwise. However, moving to Atlanta 3 years back, I knew that I wanted more. I actually was working a good job. I was doing in-home healthcare for a company called Connections. I had a cute little apartment and stuff like that. I was okay, but not okay with being okay, if you understand what I mean. I wanted more. I didn't know what more was at the time. Didn't know what exactly I was going to do, but I knew I needed to do something. I needed to dust my balcony doors about the storm. I needed to do something. So moved to Atlanta, stayed with a friend. And about 4 months after living here, I ended up meeting someone who did graphic design and finally figuring out what it was that I wanted to do. Also being inspired by the other entrepreneurs here in the city of Atlanta and millionaires and people that I started meeting and had prayed to be around. And I said, you know what is it that I can do to make $1 million? What is it that I can do to become a millionaire? What is it that I can do to gain my financial freedom? And a cleaning company was what it was. My background was always, I'm a server at heart. So I've always served. I've always did customer service. I've always did customer care, took care of a lot of my relatives and stuff like that. So I'm going to start a cleaning company, right? So I'm sitting, my barber at the time, I'm sitting in the chair. Shout out to McFlair Cuts, my very, very first client. And I just took a risk. I'm looking around and I'm like, who cleans for you? And he's like, oh, sometimes me and my, my aunt or my mom or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, okay, I don't know much about what I'm getting into, but I do know before you clean, you have to have a consultation. So hey, can I give you a consultation? Hadn't known what my prices were going to be, what the price point was or anything like that. It was a 10 by 10 studio suite that he was in. And he was like, oh, sure, while you clean. I'm like, yeah. So this is the power of walking in something before you even actively do it, and the power of manifestation that I wasn't even truly aware of at the time I was acting in it. Went ahead, cleaned his suite, $75. It took me like 3.5 to 4 hours to clean this suite from top to bottom. I gave it my all. From there, another fellow barber after him shouted me out. I cleaned their 10 by 10 suite. From there, I cleaned that barber's home, so on and so forth. And the clients just started trickling in. And I started building a clientele here in the city of Atlanta based off of referrals, which most cleaning companies do. That is your strong point. Referrals, and your marketing as well. So
hold on a second, because you done hit us with a lot right there. You know what I'm saying? So there's a couple of things I want to take from what you said that I would love for you to elaborate on a little bit more.
Sure.
So okay, before we even get to the point where you started this business, what did that wanting something more feel like? You know what I'm saying? And how did you know that you want something more? Because I feel like some people may just be unhappy where they're at, and they may think they just need a different situation, but they may not necessarily know or can identify with, maybe I do want more, meaning a whole nother situation. They may just think they want something different, and it may just be the exact same thing that they currently have, just different, like a lateral move to another situation that's very similar. Maybe the income's, maybe the income is like plus or minus, a couple grand, but it's still the same situation. You know what I'm saying? So first, how would you able to identify what more was for you? What did that look like?
I won't say that I was unhappy. I was displeased with where I was at the time, and I knew that there was more. I didn't know exactly what more was, if that answers your question. I just knew that I wanted to bring in more income. I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I knew that I wanted different surroundings. I wanted different friends. I wanted a different, even outlook on life, and whatever came with that, and whatever that was.
So there you go right there. So you, like you said, you wasn't sure what was gonna bring you that. Like, you wasn't exactly sure what the more was, but you had some things that you knew that you wanted.
Yeah. So before I moved to Atlanta, I spent a lot of self time, and just finding myself, meditating, burning my sage, focusing on my polycento, focusing on refocusing my energy, the things that I was interested in, not being afraid of tapping in to the things that I was interested in, and just my surroundings overall, just really consuming myself and enveloping myself with me and finding out who I truly was. I kind of went on like a short journey of that. And I think that's what inspired me to really want more, whatever more meant for me. Because like I said, I did not know what the more was. If you had asked me 3 years ago, before I even moved here, would I own a cleaning business, or told me that I would own a cleaning business, it would not make sense to me. It wouldn't register. Had you told me I would be an entrepreneur or a business owner, at the time, the level of thinking and my mindset would not understand that at the time. So I didn't clearly know. I just knew that there was more, and whatever more meant for me, I knew I didn't want to be in the same position that I was in and had been in the last 3 years.
No, that makes sense. So you use the power of manifestation.
Definitely.
You use the power of walking into something before you knew what it was, which basically is a form of manifestation, right?
Yeah, and taking risks.
Yeah, you're right. And taking those risks. There's a podcast that I listened to earlier with Ed Milet and Jesse Itzler. And Jesse Itzler, he's actually one of the owners of the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
And one of the things that he was saying is, whenever he has an idea, he just acts on the idea. He doesn't know what the next moves are, if it's going to work or not, how to do it, but he just puts the action towards it, and then figures it out along the way.
Which in a lot of cases is the best thing to do. And that's what I did when I moved here. Just backtracking, a lot of people don't know, and once we produce this book, a lot of people will read about the prison time I did. I spent 3 years in a maximum security level 5 state prison, and all of my stuff, criminal history, had been in Georgia. So stepping into this, I knew that I would have difficulties. I knew that I would come against milestones. I knew that I would hit doors that were closed and would not open for me. But I took a risk. I wanted more. I took a risk, and I didn't care what came with it. So
I mean, that's a big thing too that we gotta identify. So you had a criminal past in Georgia.
An extensive one.
You had an extensive criminal past in Georgia. Is that something you want to elaborate on? You want to wait for this book to drop? Because I know we got to talk about this book.
Yeah, we can wait for the book, because a lot of people ask me,
all right.
well, what was it for? What did you do? And why you did that? And cool, you know what I mean? So yeah,
we'll hold that for the book. But
yes.
you had an extensive criminal past in the state of Georgia.
Yes.
Right, and then you left. Mm-hmm. You were down for a little bit, but then you left. But then when you had this realization of wanting more and what the future had in store for you in the type of life that you wanted to design for yourself, you were courageous enough to come back to the place where you were at. You had some of the downfall, which in some cases most people would have totally avoided.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you basically created a fire. It was burning. You got out of the fire. The fire went dim. But then you came back to the spot where you created the fire at to then create a new life of abundance.
Yes.
Which is a whole story within itself.
Yes, definitely.
Which I think is, I mean, that's something new that I'm learning right now. But I think that, I mean, anyone listening or watching this, I mean, just think about it. If you were somewhere and it was a traumatic past for you, and then you had the opportunity to get out of that, how many of you would go back to that environment or that space and then create something out of that was actually for you? You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to even think. So why cleaning, man? Like why cleaning? Because, I'm gonna just be honest. I feel like a lot of people would feel like they're above cleaning somebody's home or office or place of employment or whatever, right?
Yes.
But it's a market. It's clearly a market. So if you're someone out there and you're like, I want to start a business, I don't know what I want to do, Marcus definitely is an expert. He can elaborate on that. But like, what made you want to go in a category that obviously a lot of people probably feel more entitled, that they wouldn't want to do that type of business, and then you found a lot of success in this area?
Yeah. So that is so true. I'll share with you that in the beginning there were times that I guess I can say I felt ashamed when here's this guy that's adored and posting selfies, getting thousands of likes and stuff like that, did American Idol. And now these same people who saw me as that are now seeing me come in scrubbing toilets and floors. And I'm in a different position. I'm working, because let's be clear, even though I am my own boss, I'm a self-made boss, I'm an entrepreneur, these people still, I work for these people. I work for my clients. They're who pays me. It's just I operate it how I choose to operate it. I have had moments where I've gone to someone's home and they've seen me, do this, and now I'm doing this, and it's like, like what's going on here? Like I felt like not necessarily it was beneath me, but that I could have been doing more. I didn't really.
The ego was challenged at that point.
Yeah.
The ego was challenged.
And I've had people, I'll tell you, I've had this one guy that told me literally, and you're not gonna fucking believe it, literally told me like, yo, I would slit. He was upset with me. We had an argument. So this came out. He's like, I would slit my wrist if I was you, if I had to scrub toilets and floors and all that. And I'm like, well, I'm good. I'm cool. My bills are paid. Now he's doing porn. You're all over the porn sites. And it's like, okay, let's add this check up and let's see, like, Okay, would you rather scrub a toilet in the floor, or would you rather humiliate yourself and be exploited all over the internet for free at this point? So going back on your question, I researched, and the cleaning industry is a multi-million-dollar cleaning industry. Let's be clear.
Did you say multi-million or multi-billion?
Multi-billion. It is a multi-billion industry, especially in this day and time that we're living in. But I knew that I wanted to be financially free. I've been broke all my damn life. My mom was broke. My daddy was broke. Everybody's struggling. Being broke was what led me to the criminal history in the beginning. I've always been a hustler. I've always been a go-getter. I've always been motivated to get it. It hasn't always been in the best way, but I've always wanted more. Let's be clear. I've always been on this chase to get it. I've always liked nice things. That's just been me. I just hadn't figured out or been exposed to better ways of getting it, or a better lifestyle, to be able to create the substantial amount of money that I needed to make to cater to the lifestyle that I wanted to live. But when I researched about cleaning and I saw that I actually like cleaning, my friends come over, my dates come over, they're always like, yo, this is nice. This is a vibe. I'm like, okay, I can create this for people, box it up and sell it. And it worked. It went and it worked. I tried to figure out what would separate me from these other cleaners. I did a lot of research then on other cleaning companies. And what stood out to me was they didn't have a look. There was never a face to it except for Mr. Clean. But as far as the local cleaners, Molly maids and stuff like that, nothing made them stand out other than the work that they did. But you wouldn't find that out until they were booked. What is going to lure people in? What is going to attract people? What is it that is about you that is going to make me book you or want you in my home? So I just took the things that has always worked for me. I took my face to be the forefront of it. I love taking photos. I modeled for Urban Outfitters before, and it works for me. So I said, okay, they're not doing this. Nobody is using their face. It's a risk. But once again, I'm here for it. Let me use my face. Let me give it a look. Then I'm like, okay, the colors. Like, how do you want people to feel when they see your work? How do you want people to feel when they see you and who you are? So I chose yellow and blue because they make people feel good. Blue makes you trust someone. It's good for communicating and stuff like that. All of those things were taken into consideration while I was building my business. And then, of course, customer service beats any other business any day. I made sure I was polite. I kept a smile. I overly communicated. And at the time, I did more than what people were even paying for. I went over and beyond.
So, all right. Again, if y'all are paying attention, if y'all are watching, if y'all are listening, Marcus a lot of gems right there, right? So my job is to dissect these gems, right? So I was talking about, you found a segment, right? You found a category. You identified a category that had a lot of upside. That being a multi-billion-dollar cleaning category. All right. So if you're watching multi-billion dollars, you don't have to be too proud or too big to tap into this, right? You can create a business in this area if you want. So that's one thing. He identified a category, right? Then you also identified what is called the unique selling proposition, the USP. Okay, what is the competition doing?
Yes.
And what can I do that will separate myself, stand out, right?
Yes.
And make it easily identifiable in this red ocean. You created your own blue ocean, right? And for those that don't know, I definitely would recommend, I'm gonna put the link below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening to the podcast version, definitely grab the book Blue Ocean Strategy. Marcus, if you haven't read it, you basically created it with your business, but it's definitely something that you should definitely read. So Blue Ocean Strategy talks about how if you're going into a category, where you have competition, right? Most businesses are all fighting for the same customer and client base. They're just copycats doing the same thing. It just looks different. It might sound different, but essentially it's all the same, right? They're all fighting for a smaller percentage of clients and customers. But if you come into that category, which you have with your business, you come into that category and you're creating a blue ocean. You did that with your branding, which is something I want you to talk about. Your
Mhm.
branding, you becoming a face, you giving that amazing customer service, you being consistent, you being overly communicative, and you providing more value than what someone may be paying for. You basically are operating in your own blue ocean. Now, by operating in your own blue ocean, there is no competition. You are dominating that marketplace because everyone else is not providing that level of service
Exactly.
that you are. So let's talk about that a little bit. How were you able to identify, um, you know, doing was that something natural for you to just be like, okay, they're doing this, okay, I can definitely make my business stand out if I just do something like this, and then kind of elaborate on that branding a little bit.
I don't know. I guess yeah, in a sense. I've always had an eye for things that are appealing, things that look good. I've always been able to take a little bit and make it appear like a lot. So maybe that helped. But as far as my marketing and my branding went, like I said, colors. I researched and I found out that at the time I didn't even know this, but colors create feelings. Colors mean things. My favorite flower is the rose. I love, love, love flowers. If anybody knows me, they know I love food, flowers, and the color blue. Blue is my favorite color. So going back on that, I chose my colors. I thought about how I wanted people to feel when they saw my business, when they saw me. That's why I chose to smile. I chose to use the blue gloves that I was wearing, the cleaning gloves, so people could identify that I was a cleaner. Um, and I did, I think, like 2 photo shoots because I knew I wanted people to take me serious, and I knew how important it was here in Atlanta with marketing. If you give it a look and it has good quality, it'll go. People will give you a chance. They'll give you an opportunity. So those were the things that I noticed other cleaners were not doing. And I was posting fun flyers about stuff, about things that I was doing. Also letting people tap into my personal life. That never ended. You see me cleaning the floor. You see me on a flyer. Hey guys, it's the cleaning guru. And that weekend, you might see me in the club, popping bottles, smoking hookah, having me a good time, enjoying life. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, that's all we want to do. We're all on a chase to be happy. We're all working hard to be happy and do the things that fulfills us and makes us happy, to take care of our families, to live a good life. So I made sure that that wasn't a stranger to people as well, to show my personal life. Most of these Instagram pages or Facebook pages, you don't know who's behind it. You see a bunch of videos of them cleaning. You see before and afters. And we love to see before and afters. People like that. Oh, great, you can clean. But who is this person that I'm inviting into my home? Who are you? What about you? And people are nosy. We're naturally nosy. So that's when I noticed, like, okay, people want to know you. They want to get to know you. Like, I talk to my clients. I have a good time with my clients. I've seen my clients out. We've shared shots and drinks. We laugh together. We joke together. And then I do a good job, get my check, and I'm out. So those were the things that I wanted to implement that other cleaners just don't do or weren't doing at the time.
So you took advantage of a lot of the things that competition wasn't doing. And then how long have you been operating this business so far?
Since April of 2018.
So what have you noticed that has changed in the marketplace from either competition or new people rolling up? What obstacles have you hit since you've been doing the business over the years?
So I wouldn't say that I've hit any obstacles that I haven't hit in the beginning. It's always a constant fight to find good employees. The pandemic made it a little bit more difficult because of all of the financial assistance the government has been giving out. Other than that, it's always been, for years and years to come, always will be difficult to find good workers or people that can actually clean, or sometimes people that even want to work. It's always a fight to gain new clients. You consistently have to keep yourself ahead of the game. What I will say is, over the last 3 years, and this is more recent, um, noticing other cleaners that may follow me. I don't really follow a lot of cleaners, but I do have a lot of other local cleaners and cleaners from all over that own their companies that may be a one-man band like I was for a very long time that follow me and watch what I do. And one thing I've noticed is they've gotten smarter and they realize that marketing is what gets you those clients. I've noticed more professional photo shoots. I've noticed more personality in with these people that are coming up now. I've noticed the videos, the smiles, the colors. I've noticed the things that I utilize and that were my strengths that these other cleaners are catching on to, which, hey, that's what it's for. Like, it's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you're following the right cat. You know what I mean? So I have noticed those things over like the last year.
So you notice that you have become an influencer of sorts in your
Yeah,
category for sure.
yeah, that's so cool.
And that's something I think that's something that you know you'll have a lot of success with moving forward because obviously you got this book that's about to drop, you know,
Yes.
and I feel like, we're gonna talk about the book a little bit, but I feel like it's just one of many books because I think, this book you're telling a little bit more about your story, but you can definitely write a book about how you started your business that a
Mhm.
lot of people would purchase because I'm pretty sure they want to know, okay, what do I need to do to get set up proper to navigate a cleaning business, in my city or whatever the case may
Mhm.
be. But let's get really down to it. For the people that are watching and listening, and we already identified that it's a multi-billion-dollar, industry. What are people looking at? If what is something that someone starting a new business can aspire to? Like realistically in cleaning, can they bring home 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month with cleaning? Like, what is that looking like for someone who's thinking about stepping into this arena?
So what I will say is yes, I know that to be true, that it's definitely possible. What I will say is the strength in cleaning and when it comes to numbers, dealing with numbers and what you bring in on a monthly basis or at your annual salary, um, I would focus more so on like commercial. Commercial is where the money is. Commercial is where the money is. These are people that can actually afford it. They have the budget. These are major corporations that can afford to bring a cleaning company in. I always tell people this story of Park Mobile here in Atlanta is the company that we use and we pay to park in the city. Before the pandemic, I was contracted with them, and they wanted a COVID-19 precaution cleaning. Cool. Came in, gave them that cleaning. About a week later, I think, like a week later, the guy called me back and he's like, "Listen, we just had a confirmed case. Somebody has been in the office since the last time you cleaned, and we need you to come back." Now, this is 19,000 square feet, I believe. It's the whole floor, the whole top floor of a building. I took 5 people. I spent $1,000 total with both cleaning that week. I spent $1,000 in labor, and I spent maybe about $100 in product if we even used all the product. And keep in mind, this is a commercial cleaning, so it's different from a home. It's vacuuming, sweeping, mopping, and dusting. We didn't even do bathrooms. And then, of course, sanitizing, doing the COVID-19 electrostatic spraying and stuff like that with the specific chemicals. So I grossed, walked away, all profit. What was it? 49? Was it 4,000, $4,900? All mine. It took us 5 hours each time.
So that's like $1,000 an hour, pretty much.
Right. For me. All me.
Yeah, yeah. And
that
you
week,
had, and like you said, you paid out the staff. You had the
that
staff.
week alone.
Yeah,
So that was
one client.
one client in 1 week. And that just showed me the potential of what could be done when you're dealing with like commercial clients and stuff like that. So there you have it. That shows you the power of how much money you can make doing cleaning.
All right, man. So take us through with this book. I want to talk about this book a little bit, right? So, what's the origins of the book? Why does the book take so long to come out?
No, so you put the fire up under my ass. I love you so much, Brendan. Look, you reignited the fire up under my ass for this book, right? Brendan has been on me all like pre-sale. I'm like, no, because I know once we launch this pre-sale, then the pressure is on. You know what I mean? The pressure is on, and I have to get this book finished for you guys, and I will. Initially, the book was supposed to be a course teaching people the beginning steps of how to start a business, any business, not only cleaning, but any business in general. It's certain basic steps that you have to take with any business first starting out that a lot of people don't know, that I didn't know. You got a lot of people coming from corporate America working their 9-to-5s, and they're like, oh, okay, I want to own my own business. They don't know. We don't know the first 2-3 steps, to what that is. So in the beginning of starting my cleaning business, I was just notating little things here and there about what I had to do to start the business. Then I started notating my encounters with growing within my business and stuff like that. And then I'm like, damn, all right, I'm getting all these DMs every week from people asking me like, yo, how did you start your business? How did you start from like $20 worth of product? What's the step to do? Like overwhelming messages about it till it's like, okay, I could message these people back, but I'm like, hold on, this is information that now that I'm in this mind frame, I'm like, hold on, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I got to get it. I don't have no time to waste, no free information to give. I could be capitalizing off of my experience. And that's what people don't know that they're paying for. You're paying for the experience. When we take these courses and we pay for these classes and stuff, you're paying for the experience and the steps that someone else took that they're rendering to you for you to possibly avoid. Now, just because I did it this way doesn't mean it's going to work out for you. But if it's one thing within this information that I bottled up for you and packaged that you can learn from and implement and it helps you, I've done my job. So I'm like, damn, all right, people need to hear my story as well. And I've only been doing this thing for 3 years. I'm not a fan of talking about shit I don't know. I don't do that. I don't like that. I don't like running in circles and telling you some shit I don't know. I like to speak facts and stuff I've been through. So I'm like, okay, I can give them a little bit of what I know thus far because I'm still learning every day.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Still learning about this cleaning shit every day. Every week I'm learning something new, a better way to do this, a way that I should have maybe done it this way, and whatever the case may be. But I wanted to implement my story as well because a lot of people don't pursue, don't start, or don't finish because they're afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid.
We talked about that a little bit earlier, man, but go into that.
They're afraid. They're afraid of finding out what winning looks like. They're afraid of finding out what failure looks like. They're afraid of the ending. They're afraid of what's on the other side of the door. You see what I'm saying? They're afraid of the unknown. And I feel like people need to be inspired. People need to be motivated. People need to be encouraged. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, or just not even an entrepreneur, but you got a lot of times people growing up looking at other things that other people are doing, and we get caught up in that. I can even say within the last month, I shared it with my significant other within the last month. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm fucking disappointed in myself because for the last 3 years, I have been able to maintain a tunnel vision. I pride myself on stepping into my own lane, creating my own lane, not caring about what others were doing, but finding out how to be an individual. And in a very instant, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I felt not necessarily discouraged, but like, damn, like, dude is doing this. This dude is doing this. I've been doing this thing for a minute. Like, it appears that dude is doing this. It appears that dude, and I had to check myself and say, hold on. Hold on. Snap back into it, big guru. You know what I'm saying? Like, focus and stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane, and you'll be all right. That's how I've managed thus far. That's how I've got to where I am thus far. And I feel like people need to know that. People need to hear that. People need to know that shit ain't peaches and cream. Just because you see me wearing Gucci, just because you see me wearing this and that and all of that, I work hard. It's not easy. A lot of us make it look easy at times, and it's not easy. When you don't see me, I'm on my hands and knees scrubbing, stanky, wiping toilets, pissing shit, dealing with clients, dealing with people that are doing chargebacks and all kind of things that you don't see, don't hear about, you don't know about, and we're not showing that. Dealing with having a criminal history, dealing with doing prison time, and let alone in my own head with all the shit that I go through on a daily basis in my own head that I never really talk about or share. I felt like it was important to put that in this book because I wanted people to get the most that they could get out of it. So that's why I felt like it was important to share my story.
Well, you know, first of all, that was just a whole commercial for your book. You don't have to just take this little clip out and start pushing this little clip.
You recorded it.
So yeah, again, man, if y'all are paying attention, if y'all are listening, if y'all are watching, Marcus dropped a lot of gems right there. So you're talking about, all right, so there's definitely some PTSD situation from being in jail, right?
Hell yeah.
Having that. Then there's a little bit of imposter syndrome that you talked about. Can I really do this situation? You know what I'm saying? Am I capable of doing this?
Yeah.
Then it's that ego that's comparing to what other people are doing, maybe in the same category, maybe in other categories, right? But like you said, you're just seeing the outside. You don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. A lot of people out here fronting and stunting. They don't really got it, but they showing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They showing it.
Yeah.
So how were you able to get back into that tunnel vision situation where you say you were you noticed that you were way more successful, catching that momentum? You know, it's definitely natural for us to kind of drift, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. But how were you able to snap back into that? Because you were obviously in a whole different headspace. Because before, where you were when you started your business, and when you was like building the business, it's different when you start seeing a little bit of success. You got some money now. You got the opportunity and options. You know what I'm saying? You can go out and take a trip versus you doing some strategy and some research. You know what I'm saying? So what has able to bring you back to that focus mode?
So we're speaking about it in the masterclass, and Levi said it best. And it's the power of environmental transitioning.
Ooh, drop that one more time.
It's the power of environmental transitioning. And when I say environmental transitioning, specifically changing people, places, and things. And for me, the biggest struggle that I had was the people that I allowed to consume my space, the people that I allowed myself at the time to coach me, teach me, lure me, influence me. You see what I'm saying? So specifically speaking on that very moment when I felt that, it was my significant other who I was around that I shared it with, because I don't like to be weak. I don't like to feel weak. I don't like to appear weak. I don't like fear. Fear is my enemy. So in that moment when I'm feeling like, yo, tighten up, like what the fuck, like, and I'm being honest with him about it, he's like, yo, woo, woo, woo. That's the power of being around good people and people that know you, that can motivate you, that can pull you up out of that rut. That's not gonna sit there and wallow in their shit with you and pull you down more, or they're not able to pull you up out of that and be able to motivate you, inspire you, and encourage you, give you the food that you need at that time to get back to where they know you have the potential and the capability to be in. So that's what I'll say. Just setting myself up for success by the people that I have around me on a daily basis. Now, had it been somebody else, had it been 3 years ago, and I was trying to do something, just maybe the people that I was around probably would have been like, "Yeah, man, you right, Joe Blow. They just bought a car. Like, damn, yeah. Nah, nigga, like you that guy. Like you've been doing this. Look at where you've made it from." And look at where you are at. And I'm big on appreciation and being grateful. And I'm like, you know what? That's selfish of me. God, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the position that I'm in. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm grateful for everything that I have right now because I'm not where I was.
100%. So I know there's some people that are probably watching and listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
That may not be able to identify with that in terms of how do they get into that position. Because if you're someone that's around, a group of people
Yeah.
consistently, these are your day ones, maybe these are the 5 or 6 people you're closest to. I say it a lot on my social media. You're the some of the 5 people closest to you. How do you get, first of all, how do you identify that? Then how do you get that courage to then get people from around you or not pick up a phone call or not respond back to a text or start just choosing you first? So then you can put yourself around other people or kind of to your point, what you were saying earlier, maybe just go on your own self-development journey for a minute,
Yeah.
whatever that looks like to you. So
Yeah.
I mean, how would you encourage someone to start walking that way? Because it's hard to say no to the homies, man.
Yeah.
You
It's
going
not,
out
it's
consistently on
not
the
hard.
weekends or like
It's
explain
not
that.
hard when you want to change.
Mm,
When you truly want to change. I speak about my mom's drug addiction and my father's drug addiction in my book. They both affected me. They wanted to change. Did they relapse? Yes. I've never experienced drug addiction. I've experienced other addictions that I can personally speak on and say it was when I truly wanted to change that I did. You can't fake me out with change. You can't fake change out. You can't fake it out. If you truly, truly want it, then it's not difficult. Be in touch, but out of reach. You see what I'm saying? Every missed call don't deserve a call back.
yo, man, say that
You know?
again.
So it's just like you gotta first want to truly change. If you're ready, change is there waiting for you. If you're ready, I wanted to truly change. I was fed up, I was tired, and I wanted to change. And you gotta have faith. Like I'm a God-fearing man. Like I ain't Jesus, 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 but I fear God. I pray, So I mean, sometimes don't nothing else help but prayer to get you through. Sometimes I slept in my office, and I'm giving y'all really too much. It's in the book, but I slept in my office for 3 months for whatever reason it was at the time that I'll share in the book, and I shed a lot of tears in that office, but they were happy tears. I shedded a lot of prayers in that office. I prayed a lot in that office. I meditated a lot in that office. And you know who was in that office? Just me and God at that moment. So sometimes you have to center yourself and say, look, if you're a believer and whoever God is to you, whatever that force is in your life that you believe in, center yourself with that and say, look, like help me fight. I played my gospels. I was fighting, like fighting. You see what I'm saying? Mentally and spiritually fighting. And I wanted more. And I left that office and I got a commercial vehicle with my face on the side of it. I got a nice little apartment at the time out in College Park. Fight, fight. Still got my commercial vehicle. Now I'm living in a condo in West Midtown. Fight, fight. On the first, I'll have another Airbnb, a 2-bedroom Airbnb, more clients to come. And whatever else is to come after that, I'm believing and I'm staying focused and I'm fighting and continuously believing in God. So I don't know what more to tell you other than if you truly want to change, you'll figure it out. You'll find a way. Find someone that motivates you. Find something that motivates you. For me, I got tired of being broke, bum, borrowing, begging. You see what I'm saying? So find that thing that motivates you, truly make the decision to change and fight.
Yo, that's real right there, man.
Yeah.
Like you dropped a lot of gems in that right there for sure. So I mean, you heard him, man. You heard exactly what he said. If you're in a position right now, whatever that ache is, whatever that pain is, utilize that as a reminder for something that you don't want to feel again or experience again. And use that as motivation to like Marcus said, to fight, to change, to move, to do something different. Get around different people, like like you were saying. Everything, every text message don't deserve a response. Every phone call doesn't deserve a pickup. And start really positioning yourself around people you want to be around. If you can't get a mentor, go to YouTube, go to
Put
Instagram.
yourself in environments that are conducive to the things that you want to do and the person that you want to be.
100%. 100%. So yeah, man, this podcast is called On the Pursuit, and you kind of elaborate a little bit about where you are currently. Well, where are you on the pursuit to? What could we see next with your cleaning business?
Yes.
Maybe in your personal life, if you want to share a little bit about that. Where are you currently on the pursuit to?
So I have a few things. So we have the book that I'm working on day to day to day. I'm working on that. I think the ultimate goal for me, of course, financial freedom, being able to take care of the ones that are dear to me. Purchase the home that I didn't even say, and I just got approved for to purchase my first home. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, on a pursuit to purchase a home that I love for me and my family. Of course, hit that multi-million-dollar mark. And in my heart and in my mind, at this point, I've dedicated my life, the rest of my life, to inspire and motivate other people to do what I did. To let them know that I'm no different, I'm no better than you. You can do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. Like, it doesn't matter. You can be whatever you want to be, and you can do it as long as you stay consistent and stay. This nasty bug in my face. But as long as you stay consistent, that's what I'm on the pursuit to do. Inspire, motivate people. Of course, continue to get my bag, get my bag, get a home. Ultimately, I also want a TV show. So I'm going to be working probably in the winter months, or after we push this book out. Me and Stizzo were talking about some production with a TV show, pushing them to a few major networks. So that's also something that I've been wanting to do for some time now with this cleaning stuff, to just inspire ultimately and motivate people.
I like it, man. Where can people go to tap in with you? How can they get in contact with the cleaning guru?
So cool. Okay. For bookings, you can email me at richescleaning@gmail.com. But if you want to just see what I'm doing, keep up with me, follow, like, and comment, you can hit me on Instagram at the cleaning guru. That's 1G. So it's the cleaning guru. I'm on Facebook under Rich's Luxury Cleaning and the Cleaning Guru as well. And there you'll get all of the links and the updates to everything guru, everything that I'm doing, my personal life, the good with the bad, and all of those things. Follow me on Instagram at the Cleaning Guru.
And watch out for this book that's about to drop, right? This
I'm so excited.
The book pre-sale is about to happen any day now, or within a week. I know it's about to pop off crazy.
Yes, you saw the design, and I love it. So it's called I Killed My Boss. And I'm very excited, and I'm gung-ho on that title. I'm very gung-ho on that title, but I'm excited about it, and it's geared towards killing the not to knock 9-to-5ers, but killing the mindset of the 9-to-5er and inspiring and motivating you to break all habits that control you. Their addiction is a boss. It controls you. Whatever that thing is that controls you, I want to inspire and motivate you to break those habits, break those chains, and want more, be more, do more. So yeah, I Killed My Boss. It's coming soon on pre-sale, and I'm very excited.
All those that are watching this and listening, make sure that you tap into the Cleaning Guru, and make sure you get a copy of this book. The pre-orders are going to be available soon, so make sure you're one of the first people to grab a pre-order. I think there may be a couple of options. He may even sign some options. So definitely, sign some books. So definitely tap into Marcus, grab a copy of I Killed My Boss, and see what else you got going on. Now, before we get off of the podcast, I got the money cards up. So you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. So I'm gonna pull a card for you. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna leave the podcast on a money intention. All right.
Okay, cool.
Oh, this one's crazy.
Let me see.
What did you say today, bro? What you say earlier?
I said a lot. about money, I will be the first multimillionaire in my family. Oh, yes. Glory be to God. Yes.
Yo, this ain't cap. This ain't cap. I ain't set that up.
I love
Literally,
it.
it's the cards. You see me, I opened the cards, I pulled one out.
Yes.
Marcus he said this earlier, and that's what it is.
Yes, I love it. Yes, I
that's
claim
what it is right
I
there.
receive it, and it will be manifested. Yes.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. So yeah, man, I want to thank you for spending some time with us on the podcast, creating a space for us to connect, obviously deepen our relationship, but share and inspire and motivate so many people that are watching, that are listening. Yes. I mean, and if y'all want to recap, Marcus went from modeling, idol, some jail time, and a multi-million-dollar business. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you guys so much.
Make sure y'all tap into Marcus. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. I see you guys on another episode of On the Pursuit Podcast. And yeah, man, thanks for joining us.
Yes. See ya.